Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Let rain fall, let rain fall.
And good morning, race fans. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel. And, well, let's just start with what we just saw on the track. We just saw the Express Bet water truck going by, watering the track. We saw some quicker times yesterday.
It did. Track was really in good shape. Honest track. We saw horses to the inside, to the outside. Right. It didn't really matter what part of the racetrack you were on. It was pretty fair all the way through, and the times were pretty honest all the way. We have 7, 8s, and 23 and change. So
yeah, quick time there. And how about our leading trainer from last year, Claudio Gonzalez? He started off the new year with a big day, a 2-win day yesterday for him. A couple jockeys had some.
Pimentel
had a couple wins, and a few others had a couple wins. How about the horses that were sitting on second-itis forever? Brighton Lane in the Navy now. And then you had Patriot Saint. Patriot Saint finally gets the maiden broken. Nice job.
It was just one of those days. It was not a day for me at the windows. I mean, good thing is I didn't go too crazy on the car. But
you like Brighton Lane.
I did, but those are the kind of horses, though. You know, you're doing the show. You kind of hit it by default.
Right.
You know, you're back into the wind almost. But there were some of those head scratchers yesterday that really kind of frustrated just better.
Well, here we go with Monday live racing. Parks is canceled, but we're ready to rock and roll. 2 stake races today. Let's show you what we have. $200,000 stakes at 38 go-go. That's in race 7 today. And then the Dave's Friend in race 8, both $100,000 stakes, big fields in both of them. So that's going to highlight our Monday card. Let's show you the weather, track conditions, and all that, and get right to it in the opener. Like I said, we just saw the water truck out there working on the track, getting some moisture on it. And there you see it. Should be a perfect fast track today. The weather, we in the teens, okay, climbing through the 20s. A little winter mix later on this afternoon. Hopefully we can get the live racing in before that starts.
Yeah, get that racing in. I think it's later this afternoon. We've got some winter precip expected. I know some of the schools, local schools, getting out a little early. The kids like that, but we're going to try to get through that. Let's just get through rush hour. That's our biggest thing. Get this card and then get on home.
You get out of school early, you come to the races.
Yeah. I used to do that. I used to just skip school and go to the races.
Yeah, you and me both. All right, let's get right to it here. In race 1. Race 1, we have a little carryover in the rolling super high 5 for you. That's a low 15% takeout, almost 3,500 in that super high 5 for race 1. So keep your eye on that. If they don't hit it in race 1, that'll carry over to the next race, to the second race. Every race with 7 or more horses, we have the super high 5. Also, race 1 kicks off your early pick 5. Both pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's always a mandatory payout on the early pick 5, which starts in race 1. Let's take a look here. Going 6 furlongs in the opener, claiming 7,500. Filly and mares 4 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months. This is a nice condition. I go to the inside here. The one, My Heart's in the City, with the 7-pound Bug Boy Weston Hamilton in the saddle here for trainer Jamie Ness, 6-year-old mare by City Zip. She's won 2 in a row, including a nice win last out right here at Laurel Park for the beaten nickel. Now a confident step up here to the 75.
Yeah, going to the 75, 1 in 6 months. And a tough little race. One of these races when making the line, sometimes you're like, I'm going to play it really conservative. Let the public go ahead and see, because I did not have a strong opinion as to where the money is going to settle. I do think the 5 is going to end up a slight favorite. There's a lot of ways to go in race 1. The one, My Heart's in the City, obviously likes the way the track played yesterday. You know, the connection's got to like that. The rail was very fair on yesterday's racing card. But 6 furlongs is the key, though. Is it a little bit too far for My Heart's in the City? Because I think she's going to have to deal with the 5 stand, Blue Hen Madness, on the front end, who was against the bias at the same level last time, a little fade late. I think we're going to see a contested pace. I think you're going to see a couple horses hook up nearing the top of the stretch, and I like the setup for the 7. Include a check. Mark Reed with a winner yesterday. Stevie Hamilton comes back back on this horse, a horse that needed its last race, hasn't been seen, from September to December. A good little tightener there. I like the extra little distance. Not worried that she's over 6. I think she can kind of slowly wear these horses down through the stretch.
And she had a sharp bullet work at Pimlico December 30th, a half-mile 50-4 at Pimlico. That was the fastest of 8 works that day. This barn, second off a layoff. They're 27% with a positive ROI. So I like the 7. I think that filly will get a nice trip on the outside with Steve Hamilton. I throw the 6, and I guess I'm a little hard on the 5, Blue Hen Madness. I toss her all together. I guess I wasn't impressed with her last race at this level. She didn't run very well on the step-up, but that's the same thing that my top pick here, the one's going to have to do today. If Blue Hen Madness maybe can get back to the effort we saw November 24th, then she could be sharp, but she didn't fare too well at this level last out.
Yeah,
but,
6 coming in. This Connections. They've got another horse later in the card. With the same rider, right? With
couple runners today.
And another one had an excuse to break. Yeah, so has shown speed in the past. Our Gabriel for Wayne Potts. Third time here for Potts. An excuse last time out, a drop in class. This horse I do think can make a substantial late run into it. Was holding really good form through the summer up at Fort Erie behind a really key horse, Cella. Our Gabriel wouldn't surprise me at all to make a run. Our Gabrielle,
Tough little 7,500 beaten condition here in the opener to kick off the early pick 5 and that super high 5 carryover. Let's take a look here at the second race. We have the early pick 4 here in race 2. You like the early pick 4? We have a video spotlight this race as well. Let's take a look here at your pick 4 ticket.
I'll take a stab here in race number 2 with its early pick 4. Kieran might have this race just kind of surrounded with the 4 Goodbye, See You Later, and Dazzling Oki. They look like the ones to beat. Scratch the 6 or Sydney, scratch the 7, Painted Patchen. I think both of those were going to take a little bit of money. I'm going to throw in the 3, Blame Me, going first time. Little barn switch over to Hassan Al-Amri. Maybe Mary said, hey, we'll part ways with this one. Over to Hassan Al-Amri. Blame Me might get a good setup in race number 2 at a price. Race 3, we're going to use the 4, Benchmark Babe, and the 9, Shackle Me Good. Just hope they avoid a duel on the front. And the 4th race, the 4, 5, and 6. Redini, we've got a stat later on David Jacobson with this kind of runner. Should be a stout favorite. Your price users, the 4, Stevens Answer, and the 6, Jarvis. That's in race 4. And turning to race 5, last leg of the early pick 4, we'll go with the 1, the 7, and the 8. I probably got this Mike Girales horse and Bob Cole. El Grillo, lined a little too high at 5. This horse could get pounded on the drop, but is, 2 for 42 lifetime? Looks kind of like an all-or-nothing proposition in race 5.
And a suspicious drop at that.
So. $27, Stan, is your ticket.
All right, I like your ticket. Your ticket. That's an interesting horse. Blame Me here in the second race.
Yeah.
You'll get a price. You get last year's leading rider, Jevion Toledo, on the 3, Blame Me. Let's take a look here at the second race, claiming 7,500, 4 and up, wide open 7,500 here, going a flat mile. We have a video spotlight on the 4, Goodbye, See You Later. This is a neat old hard knocker. 7-year-olds made over 200,000. Here's to win from December 22nd here at Laurel Park.
I like the way this horse settled and rated. Usually he's a little bit more keen and likes to go to the front. 7 furlongs, maybe not quite as much sprinter speed that Goodbye See You Later has, but look a little steady there, leaving the half mile and ends up in a dream trip behind a 4-way contested pace, leaving the 3 Ace Paul. And Rodriguez, a nice job, though, rating this horse. Settled nicely, shifts out to the outside. Goes about 4 or 5 wide here, turning for home, and just going to let those duelers go ahead and duel coming to the quarter pole, and that's it. Knockout punch right here. When he asks, the horse responds, rolls up 5 wide, goes clear in mid-stretch to win under a drive, was kept busy. That was a major form reversal from that race just prior at Parks for the nickel. Maybe he liked getting back home, getting to here to Laurel, getting back to Maryland, but he relished it. That's good enough, guys. And a 77 buyer. Can he run that back? Well, he's paired up 74s in the past. He's the horse to beat. You've got to scratch some of the speed. Sir Sydney is out. Painted Patchen was a deeper closer. Goodbye, See You Later. Probably gets the jump on Dazzling Oki and Blame Me, but we're going to use Blame Me as a shot. I mean, he's run close to these horses in the past, had a major excuse last time out. He broke a little slow, stumbled, was gunned early inside against the grain of the racetrack. Settling and making one run is the best best type of style for Blame Me.
Well, you do get Toledo, I'll give you that, but it's a bit of an ambitious step up here for the new barn, but this horse has been running against these horses, but I'm on the 4, Goodbye, See You Later. These open nickels and open 7,500s around here, you can find some real nice horses in there. Makes you want to save up 6,500 and jump in there and get a horse, 7-year-old like Goodbye, See You Later. This horse, 10 for 13 in the money going a mile, 11 for 14 in the money overall here at Laurel Park with 4 wins. That was a strong win last out. He's at his one of his preferred distances today going a mile. So Georgie Vargas Jr. came December 9th on the last big stakes day and won a couple stakes, and he's been winning races for Kieran McGee. He's on Struth later. Could be a big day for Georgie Vargas Jr. and Kieran McGee.
No doubt. And Dazzling Oki, the other McGee runner for Bob Beck, holding great form. You know, you question, the Charlestown numbers. This horse didn't run quite as well, maybe in a little tougher company when it was facing it in Maryland, but certainly has the confidence right now to run a big one, and he's a stayer. The mile distance is perfect for him.
What do you think about the top prospect? The 1A Percy does stay in. Make the rider Sheldon Russell on the 1A Percy. The 1 top prospect I throw into my top 4. Nice win last out, going 9 furlongs at this level. That was a race that was taken off the turf, so not as tough as today's Open 75. But this horse has been around for a while, made $400,000. Now a 10-year-old for Mary Epler, keeping the horse around for turf season. But the horse does well on the dirt as well.
Yeah, he does. He's going to have to run a little bit faster. He's going to get some help up front. Percy, the stablemate, will probably go and do the dirty work, try to force the issue of Goodbye, See You Later, to try to keep him company. But top prospect is going to have to improve a little bit more to beat these.
I throw the 8 in there as well. 2 of the stars, you get a nice lightweight assignment here with the 7-pound bug boy Franklin Sabalos on this 8-year-old for Georgie Diaz. A nice third last out against Open Nickel. That was going 7 furlongs. Now we're stretching out to a mile. This horse, a 4-time winner at a mile. This is a nice race here. Open 7,500 to kick off your early pick 4. You have the 3, 4, 5 here.
3, 4, and 5.
To get you going. All right, let's take a look here at the third race. Going a mile here in race 3, claiming 10,000 filly mares, 4-year-olds or older, 5 and up, never won 3. We have a video spotlight here of the 4 Benchmark Babes. Going to run first off the claim for Claudio Gonzalez. The Claudio barn won 2 yesterday, and I like the 4 Benchmark Babe on top today.
Yeah, sitting just off a contested pace there, 3 wide in the black and yellow check silks. For Tony Ferrier that afternoon, and she just kind of cruises to command. Now, Ferrier dangled this horse in there twice for the nickel.
Yep.
Kieran went, I should say Claudio went in the second time, and we're going to see. We're going to see if he can kind of get this horse to hold form, maybe even improve a little bit, because she might have to do so, and she just wins well in hand, just galloping through the stretch to draw off, opens up 10, then cruise to the wire in front by 8 and change. But Benchmark Babe, I think she's going to have to rate off a Shackle Me Good. I don't think she's as fast as the 9 early stand, but showing she could rate last time out. I like the confident raising class for a top barn. One of these top barns looks like they can get it done, either Kieran or Claudio, in race 3.
I was wrong earlier. I said I had the 4 on top. I have the 4 in my exact. I have the 9 on top. But Benchmark Babe in very good form, and I think probably sitting on a big race here for the new connections. But I go with the 9, Shackle Me Good, Vargas, and Kieran McGee on this 4-year-old daughter, Shackelford. Both the 4 and the 9 are 4-year-olds taking advantage of this dual condition. They've won more than 3 races, and Shackle Me Good, we just saw Benchmark Babe won impressively for the beaten nickel. Well, Shackle Me Good just did that at the 10,000 level, never won 3, won by 5 going away. That was the second race back off after having a couple months freshening in the fall here for Kieran McGee. So now the 3rd race back. We know she's in good form. She just crushed him at this level last out, and I think she'll get a nice trip on the outside here. Shackle Me Good, my top pick.
Yeah, I think she'll take the measure of the 5, who looks fairly one-dimensional, would you say? My drink selection, Shackle Me Good, and we're going to see if Benchmark Babe can maybe come from a little bit further off the pace this afternoon. Bring Me Answers another. Steady as she goes, a mile. That's the biggest question. 7 furlongs, I think, is about her limit where their optimal punch, but she might fall into a dream trip. We'll see.
I throw the 3 into the mix here. Trainer Gerald Brooks, no stranger around here. He's done well here in the past, and he just shipped back up here from the fairgrounds, and he has a couple live runners in today. He's a live runner in the 38 Go-Go, and Golden Treasury could be right there. Decent third last out at a similar level in the slop down there at the fairgrounds. That race was a race taken off the turf, small 6-horse field, but she has one on the main track before, and gets Louis Garcia back in town today as well.
Yep, not a lot splitting several horses in this race. I'm just, projecting we're going to see a little bit more improvement from Benchmark Bay, but she's going to have to step it up a little bit to beat these.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, the Rainbow Pick 6 was hit yesterday for a little over 12,000. Was that you?
I'm here.
You're here? All right. Well, whoever hit the pick 6 yesterday was a mandatory payout. I believe that was the only ticket, 12,000, because the pool was about 14,000. So congratulations if you had that pick 6 yesterday for a little over 12,000. Hope you jump back in today and play with us. Couple stake races on our Monday card. We'll take a look right after this. Welcome back today at the races presented by Fidelity First. They hit the Rainbow Pick 6 yesterday for over 12,000. So, it was a mandatory payout yesterday. So we start fresh today in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. It starts in race 4 on the 9-race program. This race, race 4, also kicks off the middle pick 4. Let's take a look here. We're going 6 furlongs, claiming 10,000 4 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. And we have a stat here on trainer David Jacobson. He's going to have a popular favorite here in the first leg of this pick 6. Number 5, Radini, with Jevion Toledo on this 4-year-old son of Bernardini.
He hasn't brought a ton of horses down the last couple of years, but we know he and Toledo are just deadly when they hook up. But look at this stat. Jacobson, 7 for 11. 10 for 11 in the money with dirt runners at Laurel between the $5,000 and $10,000 tag and ROI of $3.09. And this horse is, is he going to put back-to-back races together? I think he takes the edge here. Dropping to the 10. The horse that he ran second behind last time, competitiveness, came back and ran a bang-up second. A real good second, running a 75 in a 9-winners of 3 in life for 14,000 up in New York. Some speed has come out of this race with the scratch of Balkan and Starry Messenger. Also scratched the 11. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Radini, I think, will be on or just off of it and gets it done at an awfully short price. If there's a hiccup in his form, Jarvis and Stevens Answer, I think, hold the best value and could, close in from a little bit further out to get the job done.
Well, even if Radini doesn't run back to that last race, he got a 68 buyer. I mean, even if he doesn't run back to that last race, he's taking a drop here, so that'll help. That was an impressive stat there for the Jacobson barn. They mean business when they come down here. Toledo and Jacobson, they're 50% together, so this is a well-meant entry. There'll probably be multiple takers at the claim box for this horse today. Just one on December 9th, and now running right back here in less than 30 days. So I like the 5, Radini, 5-6-4 for both of us in this race. The 6, Jarvis, in very good form right now. And you're right, if Radini doesn't fire, here comes the bug boy Weston Hamilton with the 6, Jarvis, who just ran a nice second against 16,000 Two Life Company, and taking a drop here for the John Hartzell Jr. barn, who finished up last year with some good momentum.
Yeah, John had real good momentum, has good momentum coming into this year to 2018. Jarvis, just a runaway winner, 2 races back when breaking the maiden. And last time out, I liked it where Prado. The horse was bumping, kind of squeezed back at the break and settled nicely. Made a steady progression to the outside part of the track. We're going to get in light today with Weston Hamilton. This horse, I think, is holding the right kind of form right now, and this is not too demanding of a race. If Radini doesn't fire, I think he or Stevens Answer. Stevens Answer might have to come from a little bit further back, but I like to turn back in distance for him for Trombetta.
Yeah, Stevens Answer ran a clunker last out, but taking a big drop today. This would be the cheapest this horse has run since it broke its maiden for maiden 75 at Prescott last September. So we like the same similar horses here, 5, 6, 4 for both of us in the 4th race. Let's take a look here at the late pick 5 starting in race 5. We're going a mile here in the 5th. I like the late pick 5 today. It's an industry low 12% takeout on both pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Always your best bet. Let's go with the $32 ticket for me today here in the pick 5. Let's take a look. Race 5, I'll go 4 deep. The 1, 7, 10, 12. This is an interesting beat nickel race to handicap. I went 4 deep in this race, 1, 7, 10, 12 with the 7, El Grillo, my top pick. That's the big dropper for Cole and Juralis, but that horse doesn't have to win. I have 3 other live ones on there as well. So 1, 7, 10, 12 here in the 5th. Race 6, I'm going 2 deep. That might be a cold exacta there. Deal Driven's Lone Speed. We know Bo Vuk's going to be coming late. 3, 6 for me there in race 6. Then going 4 deep there in race 7, the 38 Go-Go. That's a nice race. I have the 11 on top. Street Surrender, Toledo aboard for Grand Motion, but I'm going 5, 9, 11, 13 there. Line of Best Fit's going to be sharp in the 38 Go. Power of Stunner, I like at 10 to 1 in there. That's a nice race. Who did I leave out? The 9 Crimson Frost for Linda Rice. Then I'm keying bold single there on the Maryland bred Struth.
Yeah.
I'm keying on Struth and the Dave's Friend, and then going 2 deep in race 9, the 3, and the 10. That's a soft group there in the 9th race. I go with a first-time starter named Towson. We spent a few days up there in the good old Towson, didn't we?
Just a few. Threw back a few in Towson area, too, didn't we? Yeah, but there wasn't an old horse Towson Martha Green had or something?
Yeah, or Linda Albert.
Yeah, I can kind of I agree with you. I took the stab with the 3, the first in the last.
Well-bred information 10 there, Towson in the last. Let's take a look here at race 5. Claiming 5,000 4-year-olds or 5 and up. Never won 3, going a mile. Video spotlight here on the Kieran McGee horse. Kieran McGee and jockey Georgie Vargas, they might be having a big day today. Here's Mr. Brightside, December 15th here at Laurel.
It wasn't too bright on December the 15th there. A little bit of snow on the racetracks. Now we're going to pick this horse up to the back of the pack, just about last and inside of a rival. And I think that's the eventual winner, if I'm not mistaken, that goes outside of him and gets a jump. There's a steady, little momentum lost was lost there for Mr. Brightside and ends up being swung out to about the 8 path, turning for home. Eventual winner, Giles Fair for Toledo, and about maybe the 6th path. Had a cleaner run, did not have the momentum stop, and that was pivotal in the outcome of this race. Mr. Brightside goes to that left lead past the 8th pole, but I like the way he kind of churns on willingly to the wire. Giles Fair goes clear, but then has to hold on. He's gaining a little bit late, gets beat 3 parts of a length. Mr. Brightside, I like how he kind of reversed back to form. He showed a little bit of speed in his 2-back try. He's better when settling and making one run. I like the way the track played yesterday. He can kind of maybe gradually progress to the inside before closing in. But the 7, El Grillo, I agree, is an all-or-nothing proposition. Yeah. If we're going to use him, we're going to use him on top. He's 2 for 41, but he's second-time Cole, first-time Mike Juralis on a jam job. Looks like the speed of the speed. And I got a bad line, I think, on this horse. And
well,
that's the problem. I beat myself up too many times. This horse is probably going to be lower than 5. Maybe, with these Cole horses, going to open up at 2 to 5. You just don't know.
Sure. You get Julian Pimentel. Pimentel with a 2-win day yesterday. You're right, all or nothing on this horse. Yeah. It doesn't look very pretty on paper, this drop. The horse was running some big races earlier last fall at Parks. Was running some big races. Threw a clunker first off to claim. Now they claim the horse for 12.5. Now a big drop here to the nickel. We both used the horse on top. It's not the toughest race. Mr. Brightside could be right there with Vargas aboard. I like the 10 on the outside as well. Can't make this up. It's been hanging around at this level for trainer Tony Aguirre. Ricardo Trappi is going to get a nice forwardly placed trip on the outside here with the 10.
This horse showed a lot of heart last time. Really take the worst of it the whole way in between horses. Just gave up a little bit late. Shortens up to a mile. Doesn't need to be as close as what he was, and I don't think he will today. But he can make a run from further back in the pack. And some promises. I look for a rebound. A 2-back try, the 66. He's right there and maybe wins it. A little traffic head of the stretch, but he really wasn't kind of firing his best shot when that trouble happened last time out. But he could rebound with Trujillo and Damon at a square price, maybe in that 8 or 10 to 1 range. And we've seen Cole over the years. He's picked on these guys, the 3-4% trainers and moved them up. So this is going to be another one, maybe El Grillo.
Once
Once again, right to the front. We'll see how far he goes.
Yeah, well, I'm 4 deep in this race.
Yeah.
One quick long shot on the outside.
Okay.
The 12 Tippett, 20-1 here for Scott Lake. The horse is in bad form, but taking a drop from the 7,500, dropping to the nickel today. He gets Carol Cedeno, so strong connections here. This horse is a winner at the mile distance. Didn't like the slop last out at Parks. That was the first time dropping to 75, so maybe just draw a line to that race now. So it's kind of like a drop from 12.5. But this horse was running well last September up there at Parks, and I think, like I said, a soft group here. If the favored 7 El Grillo doesn't fire, it could set up for a nice long shot like the 12 Tippett and my man Scott Lake.
That will be a bomb.
Yep, a lot of sharp handicappers watch this show. They get ready for a big day like today. I just want to let them know we just saw the water truck go by for the second time this morning while we've been doing this show. So doing a lot of work on the track, getting it ready for a big Monday afternoon of racing. Let's take a look here at race 6, going a flat mile to kick off the late pick 4. Starter allowance, 16,000 starter allowance company here in race 6. The 3 deal driven is this 4-year-old. It's a 6-time winner. This is a multiple conditions on this race. It's essentially it's a never won 3. However, you can be in here if you're a straight 4-year-old. You can be in here for the claiming price of 16,000, and that's what deal driven's in here. He's a 4-year-old. He's won 6 times, going against some older horses that haven't won 3. Might be a nice claim for a new trainer here, Michael Merriman. Of course, that's the son of Ann Merriman. The Merriman family got the money with Port Louis.
Or she kind of touted a little bit there.
Yeah.
Good wake up on that one.
Port Louis yesterday. So Michael Merriman now first off the claim for the 3 deal driven. Is this horse lone speed in this race or what? What do you think?
Certainly appears so. I think if anybody that might force the issue, well, you've got the scratch of the 4, right? Roethlisberger is out in the 7 Moonspell in race 6. Maybe Hugh McMahon's horse. We've seen these horses come in. They've gone down to Kentucky and done well with some of their claims. This horse might force the issue, but Deal Driven was awfully sharp last time, and this is not really a racing class when you think of it. He's a 6-time winner. Look at the internals, 23-4, 46-4, 11-4. They were a faster split stand than the A other than boys that day. Final time, 38-1. The A other than went 37-4. A comparable race. You get a horse who can kind of run that quick. He's got a lot of wins under his belt. He's just sat there for a nickel. Nobody went in. The Merrimans did, and they've been patient and they've come up with a softer spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, and a nice 3-furlong blowout workout there at Pimlico December 22nd. So the horse hasn't run since November 20th, but a nice work, couple nice December works over there at Pimlico for the new barn. So we both like the 3. Bo Vuk's going to be coming late, but I think Deal Driven's going to have the jump on him.
Yeah, Bo Vuk, I mean, he to me looks like he's a little bit better one-run sprinting, but last time out he encountered trouble and he didn't have a setup. The leader was kind of walking the dog on a moderate pace, 48, 13-1, and just ran into some trouble in mid-stretch, but kept on willingly to the wire. If he just runs his race, it could be good enough. Yeah.
All right, so nice little starter allowance there to kick off the late pick 4, which is a nice sequence. You have 2 stake races in the late pick 4. Let's take a look at the first of 2 stake races this afternoon. Race 7 to kick off the late pick 3. It's the 38 Go-Go. Philly Mare is 4 and up, $100,000 stake. Going a mile. We've had some key scratches in here. Scratch the 2, Jewellerette, and the 3, Trace of Grace is out. And I believe just one more, the 12, Winter is out as well here. I end up on the 11, Street Surrender from the Graham Motion Barn. First start here in the Motion Barn. He's 18% with new runners in his barn. You get Jeffion Toledo on this 5-year-old daughter, Street Ball. She was in very good form last summer at Santa Anita. She won a nice stake race out there, going a mile on the 16th with a 91 by her speed figure. So she has some early speed. This will be her first start here on the West Coast. She's coming from, her first start here on the East Coast. She's running in a couple graded stakes most recently out there in California. So your thoughts on this? Third start back off the freshening, and she had a couple months off last fall. Now her third start back here, first start in the new barn. A sharp bullet work December 31st up there at Fair Hill.
It draws outside, and it looks like the other Motion horse coming off the synthetics, and the turf Chic Thrill could be a part of the speed. There is plenty of speed in here. I don't know how to gauge this horse, to be honest with you. I think she's going to be forward. You know, we see these motion horses when you least expect it. Sometimes they just pop up and run a big one. The horse looks like the change of scenery might do this horse some good, and that's what they're hoping for, at least. I'm going for a price shot in here, the 5 Power of Stunner. I think this old 8-year-old, I know she's hooking maybe an up-and-comer in the 9, Crimson Frost for Linda Rice, but Power of Stunner is steady. Yeah. Maybe wants a little bit more ground, but I think off this 3-quarter race last time out, it's going to set this horse up perfectly, has enough positional speed to get within range. I don't want this horse 7 or 8 of it turning for home. I want her, 2-3 lengths at most when they turn for home, and maybe can kind of steadily grind these horses down through the stretch. He kept a great company, asking for money, Money Hills Charlotte, Unbridled Mo. You see, and she's been competitive against better horses. And I think she had a little bit of layover, if I'm not mistaken. This horse, they canceled the race, stayed it over at Pimlico for a little bit. I was talking to Mary Epler, went back up to Penn, and it's set to go today. You'll get an okay price on the 5 Power of Stunner.
She's a nice runner for sure. An 8-year-old's made over $500,000 and comes from a winning outfit. Timmy Kreiser, 27% winners last year.
Yes.
142 wins. That's a lot of wins. I think a perfect setup. That 6 furlong opener looks like a money allowance race up there at Parks last out. I think that 6 furlong a perfect setup for today's mile distance. I like the 5 Power of Stunner. I use this mare on my my late pick 5 ticket. One horse. Let's talk about the ones we do like. I left out the 6 Bishop's Pond,
okay.
But
the 9 Crimson Frost for Linda Rice.
Yeah, I like the 9. The 13 I throw, and we both like here in the exacta line of best fit. This horse trying to get back in really good form. She had a big year last year, made over $200,000, a 4-time winner last year, 3rd behind Songbird in the Grade 1 Del Cap. So this will be her 2nd start in the Claudio barn. Kevin Gomez will ride. We both like a line of best fit today.
Yeah, maybe Claudio tweaks a few things here, goes from the sprint to the route. I like the angle, a little close. Fairly decent pace, 22-3, 46-1. Miss Locust Point kind of walked the dog for the most part in the Willa on the move. Moving back to, I think, which is the right distance. She's 2 for 3 at the mile. She's going to get a good stalking trip, and she has run good enough races to put her right here, there against this kind, no doubt about it. You cannot disregard Claudio, especially at a price like this. I think she's going to be in that 6, 8, 10 to 1 range.
And a couple of real nice works coming into this race for the 13 line of best fit. And we both like the 9 Crimson Frost. This horse, 7-length winner 2 starts ago against First Level Allowance Company. Good second last out. That was a 2 other than an Aqueduct in the wintertime. This stake going to be a little bit tougher than that, but she's in good form right now for strong connections.
Like the progression of her numbers too. She pairs 78s to 90. Did she run maybe that good? Maybe not, but she's improving. Good start, last start of the 3-year-old year last year. I think she kind of moves forward or even holds form off of that. She's there. I like her tactical style as well.
Tiz Rude, you have Tiz Rude in there. I can't fault you. That was a strong 3 other than allowance win last out going a mile. She's a 2-time winner going a mile. Frankie Pennington coming down for John Service. John Service had a big, strong fall meet last year here at Laurel.
Similar to Crimson Frost, getting, running her best form right now. So strike while the iron's hot. I hated to see the scratch of the 2. Juilliard liked her a little bit coming in for Ben Colebrook. I think won the Wide Country. Was it last year, the year before with China Grove? Yeah. So, just scratch the 2, 3, and a 12. This race stays in good shape, the 38 Go-Go.
All right, let's take a look at the Dave's Friend. A big field in the Dave's Friend. Key scratch on the outside here. Scratch the 11 Recruiting Ready. That was the morning line favorite, right? The 11 Recruiting Ready at 7-2. So Recruiting Ready is scratched out of the Dave's Friend. I'm going with the Maryland-bred Struth, my top pick. Let's show you what Struth did last out here at Laurel Park. This was back on December 9th in the Howard Bender Memorial. Didn't get to the front right away. Got to the front around the far turn, and then just opens up on him, turn of her own. Wins by 4 1/4 going away. A strong 95 buyer. Right. Struth is in very good form right now. Kieran McGee with runners that won their last start. He's 26% when they to win right back. I just think this horse with Georgie Vargas Jr. board, with that early speed on the outside, he'll be trouble-free. In the clear, I think the 9 Struth is just going to get a very nice trip here, a better trip than the 2. I had a hard time picking him on top over a Fleet Willie. Fleet Willie is going to be coming late. I'm just hoping Struth can get the jump on him.
Struth was originally scratched, right, when this race first
last
went.
Saturday,
yeah, and coming back in today, a little more freshening. I like that. He's never really kind of put those 2 big blowout races back to back, but he can come off of that last race just a little bit and it puts him still into the mix. He's going to sit a good trip. I think maybe even a dream trip tracking the pace, just kind of like the trip he got last time, 4 wide outside of some horses. What do you do with Ella Reed? You got McCarthy coming in to ride, right?
Yep.
Needed its last. We knew about the injury and everything like that. That was a tough field last time out. Prince of Hemp Brown real big, and this horse probably had the worst of it down inside and when making a bid and vying. He'll come down, I think, off of that 15-1, especially now with Trevor and the scratch of these 2 horses. I just don't know if he's going to be able to survive again. Maybe one more race after this. I'm not sure. Favorite Tale is awfully quick, although he's not as quick as he once was. He's going to be a pace present. I think a Fleet Willie we all thought was maybe going to scratch out of here. Claudio keeps this horse in. Got to work the other day, a 47-1 on January the 4th, a bullet workout. I think the horse was sharp, and once he saw the way the track played yesterday and was fair, probably said, okay, we're going to go ahead and keep in. I think he's fine. I think he's got enough positional speed to let this horse from the inside and the outside of him go. Ella Reeb in Favorite Tale, and he kind of drafts into a good stalking position. He's just razor sharp right now.
He is razor sharp, a 6-time winner here at Laurel Park, and he's coming into this race off of big work January 4th. That was just 4 days ago. What was that, last Thursday? A half-mile bullet, 47-1. Fastest of 23 works. That was just a few days ago here at Laurel Park. You know, Fleet Willie's coming into this race in peak form right now. So 9-2 for me, 2-9 for you. I used the 7, Ready for Rye. This is a nice race here. A bunch of old hard knockers in here. The 7, Ready for Rye, a 6-year-old son of City Zips, made over $750,000. Tom Abatrani, the trainer, with the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado in the saddle. A decent 4th last out, carrying 128 in the Grade 3 fall high weight. That was late November up there at Aqueduct. A little maintenance half-mile work recently at the Belmont training track. Prado will get a good trip from the 7-hole.
He had a dream trip that day, Stan. I mean, sat perched 3 wide and just couldn't hold off the closer. Stall walking, dude. We've seen a really nice horse, 3-5 Indy. Great stuff. The Jacobson horse had a tougher trip that day. Was really kind of stymied. Didn't really kind of accelerate through a whole inside, leaving a 3/16, but still was willing, but steadied almost all the way to the wire. I like him a little bit better than Ready for Rye. Your bomb shot in here, maybe the 8 Fellowship. You saw him last time. You see the short comment, unrateable. Rushed up along the rail and then faded. I think this horse wants to sprint. I think he's run some big races sprinting. Got the right kind of rider. Stevie Hamilton kind of just rein him in a little bit early and let him out the last quarter of a mile. He can make an impact at a big, big price.
We both like the 5. Great stuff for Jacobson. Sheldon Russell. This horse been running well up there in New York. Jacobson could be having a big day shipping down here with a couple live runners. So nice big field in the Dave's friend for $100,000 to kick off your late daily double. All right, let's talk about our man Towson here, our girl Towson here in the last race 9, last and final race. Maiden claiming 10,000. 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs, and trainer Jerry O'Dwyer very realistically puts this filly in here for maiden 10 for her debut. They paid $42,000 for her when she was younger. She's by Tis Wonderful. The Dam, Dancing Anna, she was 3 for 11, made $140,000. She was a stakes winner going 4.5 at Charlestown. She was 3rd in a Grade 2 Matron. Jerry Robb trained her around here, Dancing Anna. And this filly's a half to Tizability, who made almost $200,000. So maybe she has a crooked leg or something. You wonder why she's in for $10,000. But maybe they just want to win right away. Some decent works here. Lasix in debut and a live rider, Fergal Lynch in debut.
Yeah, you hit on a lot of spots. I mean, maiden claiming is 31%. Is Jeremy O'Dwyer. You've got some scratches in here. Shortens up the field a little bit. Scratch the plain 1, scratch the 5, the 8, and the 9 out of the 9th race. And Tis Wonderfuls. They hit it for about a 19% first-time out strike rate. That's pretty good. And the mare you talked about, she was 2 for 7, though, at the age of 2. Yep. I like the precocity there for the 3. Towson, take the shot. I just don't really like anybody else. And maybe Wayne Potts. I've seen him in the past have some of these horses come in from Woodbine. They've got plenty of bottom of them, coming off the surface. Nobody really wants to show they want to stay around. Maybe the 6 can kind of chase and hang around for a piece at a price. Taking 2 flyers, a 3 and a 6 in the last race.
All right, that's I have the 3 and the 10 on my pick 5 ticket. The 10 given a chance. A good second 2 starts ago against Maiden 16. Then they stepped the horse up to Maiden 25. That didn't go too well. Now back down to the bottom here with Weston Hamilton. Should get a good trip on the outside. Yep. The 10 given a chance. I'll throw into the exact. Let's get a girl Towson home here.
We're going to try
in debut. All right, that's it. We're out of time. They're doing a lot of work on the track, getting it ready for a big afternoon of racing featuring two $100,000 stake races. The sun is out. Some warm weather finally back here in Maryland. Hope you can join us today. Dave Robin coming up next.
Good luck.